Hey guys, we're live. We're live. Yeah, this is day two of our live session, and I'm so excited to be here today. So, I'll be sharing with you some really deep stuff today. But let me save you time. Let me save you stress. Let me save you money because I'm going to be sharing 5 hard lessons I learned. I learned them the hard way. I learned as a female entrepreneur and leader 5 lessons with you today in my journey or my journey. Very tough lessons I learned. And just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Ish, and I am an executive coach and strategist. Hey, Mama, you're welcome. You're the first person online today. And today's session is going to be very transparent and powerful. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's so good to see you. I'm trusting that the rest of the team members will be here. And shortly before saying that, I'm going to be saving everyone who comes on live today time, stress, and money. Loads of experiences to share, ma. So I'll be very grateful to get your comments in the comment section. You can just share your own tips as well, or nuggets that you have that you think will really be important in today's session. So I earlier mentioned I'll be sharing 5 hard lessons along the way as a female entrepreneur and leader. Of course, I'm talking the entire time in the corporate. Hi, Kabaka. Good to see you. Yes, good to see you. You're very welcome. I'm sorry, you're going to have to excuse my neighbors. So I'm going to be sharing 5 hard lessons, as I said, that I learned along the way as a female entrepreneur. And my name is Dr. Ish, coach and business strategist. And this session is going to really be transparent and powerful. I'm going to be sharing, Princess, you're welcome. I'm going to be sharing some really deep insights as to the mistakes I made. I mean, they could all be mistakes that you are making too in your journey as a corporate leader, in your journey as a creator, in your journey as an entrepreneur. Whatever journey you are on, they most likely you may have made one or more than one mistake, like I did in my. And like I earlier mentioned yesterday, it's going to be a 30-day live challenge for me, where I'm going to be sharing insights on the things that have helped me to be able to train over 40,000 people online, on sales, on business strategy, personal branding, on storytelling, on executive leadership, and of course managing and running businesses, most especially for women. It's not, these are things that are also applicable to men, don't get me wrong, but these are things that I am more centered or focused on in sharing with women like me who aspire to be great, who aspire to succeed, who have ambitions to be able to give both impact and value. Deborah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Please don't forget, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, and of course give me a thumbs up while you are at it. Thank you very much for tuning in. And so I'll just be going on briefly with the lessons that I learned, and I'm trusting that by the end of this session you would have gained some really deep insights as to the mistakes I made. And one thing I need you to take note of is, while I'm calling out or listing out these mistakes and giving you examples of things that I feel I should have done better in my own career journey and business journey, I want you to take note of these things and correct yourself where you need to correct, and apply, if possible immediately, just so that you avoid having to go through the long that I was forced to do. I'm so passionate about women leaders, women business leaders, and one of the things that I've decided handling. So please, anybody coming on, please just let me know where you are streaming from, what country you're streaming from. I'd love to meet you, and while you're at it, please don't forget to subscribe and like, and of course drop your comments while this session is on. So like I said, I will be sharing with you 5 hard lessons I learned on my journey in my 21-year career as a corporate leader, and then I now moved on to become, hi John, okay, Abeokuta, all right, pleased to meet you, welcome. So on my journey to become a female leader, a recognized female leader in the corporate world, and things that made me now transcend into the business world, and of course eventually putting me in a position where I have to also empower other women and help them to learn how not to make the same mistakes that I had to push through. So I'm really excited that the network is really doing so well today. Actually, yesterday was really, really, a lot of people were either having issues to hear me. As a corporate person was, I always liked to do things on my own. I had a very serious problem asking for help, and I know that quite a number of men or quite a number of people too may also have the same challenge, because I always felt like I could do it on my own. I had a problem delegating tasks. I always felt like I was the only one. When you're somebody that likes things being perfect, I want to start my business perfectly. I want to be a corporate person perfectly. Everything just had to be right. But I realized after a while that not all situations in life will always be perfect. It's just like saying, I'm not ready to start a business. I'll start my YouTube channel tomorrow, or I'll start positioning online next week, or I'll start facing my personal brand in 2 months time. Okay, I'm not going to start shooting videos till I have this, I have that. I'm not going to start my business till I have $1 million or $1 million saved. There is nothing like a perfect situation. Really, there's nothing like a perfect situation. Anything you intend to do as a business person, or as an entrepreneur, or as a corporate person, right time to start is now. There is no perfect situation, and that's why I'm saying that the very first mistake, which I think really crippled my career, and of course the center of focus now is my business, is that I liked to do things on my own. I really I had a problem. I felt like, I would decide that, okay, I can be exactly, no perfect situation. Example, when I opened my nursery and my primary school, that is one of my numerous businesses. I ran about almost 25 businesses of 4 years, and I lost about 20 of those businesses. And one of the problem I had is, so like I said, I'm a perfectionist. I like things to be done properly. If it's black, it's black. If it's white, it's white. I had a problem employing or hiring people, or asking for help from people who were masters in certain fields. Like I felt like I could become this. I could be the CEO. I could be the secretary. I could be the security personnel. I could be customer service. I could be the saleswoman. I had like 6 or 7 roles I combined on myself only. It was wild. I was doing so much. And you see the implication of this. I think a lot of women are guilty of this, because I would say God has given us the ability to be able to multitask. Women have the ability to do so much. We wake up in the morning. For those that have kids and a family, you prepare the kids for school, you go to work, you do this, you do that. There's so much you are able to do. Now, ladies, hear this and hear this clearly. Even if you are strong enough to do so much at the same time, you have to be able to understand, if you are running a business, right, you need to be able to get the right. Hi Diana, you're welcome. I see you. Even if you're running a business, right? It's even worse for people running businesses and also running 9 to 5s at the same time. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're running a business, learn to delegate. Learn to hire the right kind of people that can help you. Hey Naomi, you're welcome. Learn to hire the right kind of people to help you. Don't put it in your mind that, oh, I can do so much. In the north, in the south, in the east, and in the west time. Ladies, you will only burn out, you only cripple yourself. So many women do in business. I remember I was giving why in the corporate world. I realized that at the on the leadership scale, on the leadership ladder, many women drop of marriage, having children. Now, please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying marriage is wrong. I'm not saying having kids is wrong. I'm not saying being in a relationship is wrong. But on the corporate ladder, you have to find situations where, and even in businesses, where there's so much responsibility on the availability of the parents, most especially the mother. So let's imagine a breastfeeding mother. You're nursing a child who's less than a year. Is it break? You can't hear me? Hey guys, please let me be sure that if you can hear me, please just type I can hear you and I can see you. Let me be sure that I am not speaking to only myself. Deborah, Anna, John, and it's better now. Oh, excellent. So the first point that I was trying to bring home to you is I had an issue. Oh, is it better now? Marilyn, you're welcome. Marilyn, where are you streaming from? Yes. So as women, we have a lot of responsibilities in terms of caring for the family, children, grandchildren, parents, brothers, sisters. And like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm not nullifying the importance of men in our lives, and I'm not saying that men don't get to do this too. Oh, Kogi State, good to meet you. Most, just like I experienced, because we have the ability to multitask, we tend to do so much, and we really don't know the right time to ask for help or call out for help. Oh, Diana, I'm so sorry that your network is bad. Sorry. Hey, Pamela, good to see you. Good to see you. So another problem I had with my clients, and I must confess, I really must confess, I still have that problem now, but I think I'm getting better. So problem number one, remember, I have or asking for help. And problem number two now is I didn't know how to set boundaries with my clients. And ladies, hear me and hear me clearly once again, because these are things that I need you not to do, because so much, and I had to learn my lessons the hard way. So I'd rather you learn from the mistakes I made than you repeating these same mistakes and ruining your career or your business. Like this mistake I made, this second mistake I made affects both people in the corporate space and people in business. One of the things you must understand is when you're running a business, you must set boundaries with your clients. Please get it clearly. You must set boundaries with clients, right? There are so many disadvantages to not setting boundaries with your client. You need to have an opening business time, right? That decision is basically yours. You need to have a closing business time. What I'm trying to say is, depending on business, yes, you need to, for instance, let's take an example. I wake up in the morning, do my devotion, my prayers, then I like to do my workout. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rosie. I'm so sorry. So I usually have my prayers, I have my exercise. For those of you that go to the gym, I'm a gym rat. I love exercising. I mean, my health is one of my major priorities, right? And then I take care of all that before I start attending to my clients. So I would say, give or take, I start my day like say 5 a.m. in the morning, but I don't get to start attending to clients till 9, 10 a.m. Right now, it doesn't mean I'm sleeping in bed till that time. No, I'm taking care of myself. I'm grooming myself first. So ladies, you need to learn to take care. You need to have what they call a me time. We are all hustling for money, trust me. I'm more of a hustler than a lot of people. I'm really ambitious about, I mean, I love money. However, you mustn't negate the have your own me time in the morning before attending to your clients. So what we're talking about is setting boundaries with your clients. And that was the number 2 problem I had in, one of the mistakes I made in running my business. So I'm talking about your opening business time and your closing business time. That's one of the boundaries you need to set. So you decide, what time of the day do I want to start attending to clients? I set a boundary of 10 a.m. for myself or 9 a.m. However, there were some exceptional clients that could call me earlier than that. Maybe I'd already given them appointments before that, or maybe some of my team members that I had to, you know. Yes, you have to set a time, or else once your clients know that you don't have time boundary. For those of you that use WhatsApp is like one of my landing pages. My business hours, I have business working usually at AM PM, but because of the nature of my work, sometimes I can extend to 8 p.m., 9 p.m. But that basically happens because I will be teaching, I will be in classes. So that time suits my business. That's to say that I really don't like attending to calls anything after 7 p.m. because it distracts me from things I need to get done, right? So it depends on the kind of business you run. If you're a graphic designer, if you're a designer, saleswoman, as long as you're running your own business. Now in the corporate world, it will work pretty differently. But for those of you that work 9 to 5, I'm sure you can attest to the fact that most businesses, using Nigeria for an example, open to clients 8 a.m. okay, and then most times they close say 4 p.m., 5 p.m. So business person, whether you are positioned on LinkedIn, whether you are positioned on YouTube, whether you are positioned on Instagram, TikTok, or even if you're positioned on all the social media platforms, you must set boundaries between yourself and your clients. Now, one of the and closing time, you see, these things may very inconsequential, but they actually affect this, because any CEO of who experiencing burnout will be able to function 100%. So it's very important that you have your opening hours and hours. Okay, so you figure that out for yourself, part of your rules and regulations for your business. So that's one of the ways. Another way you can set boundaries, your communication style. Guys, when you are communicating with clients, you need to understand you cannot use words of endearment with clients. You have to maintain professionalism when you are relating with your ma'am, right? You have to enjoy, especially if you are positioned. So you don't use auntie, uncle, mommy. No, 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 no. If globally positioned, a man and a woman is ma'am or ma, depending on the country. This gives you a level of professionalism, right? And when you are speaking with your clients, now we're talking about effective communication under certain boundaries. You don't with your clients saying, hello dear, good morning dear, good afternoon dear, how are you doing today dear? No, don't, no, don't do that. It's even worse when you are doing that with the opposite sex. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are speaking or communicating with the opposite sex, Who is your client? I don't want to know if they're your cousin, your sister. You are doing business with them. They're going to pay you for your service. Please address them appropriately. Appropriately. And when I mean addressing appropriately, like I said, sir, ma'am, always be sure to greet. Good morning. If it's in the morning, you're having the conversation. If it's in the afternoon, good afternoon. I had a problem. I would say that one of the mistakes I made was I was quick to use endearment. How you doing today, dear? How you doing today, darling? And it was even the women would feel disrespected, and the men started hitting on me and thinking I was interested in them. So if there's something you do, please to cut that shit out. You need to stop. You need to cut that crap. You need to stop it. Will kill your business. The minute your clients discover that you are not professional, then you're going to start having a lot of problems. So that's part of setting boundaries. Remember, I spoke about setting your opening time and your closing time. I've also spoken about how the words of endearment. Don't use dear, darling, love, sweetie. No. If it's a business discussion, keep it professional. All right. And then when you're having, yes, especially dear, I've had conversations with vendors, with people that sell products and services, and then I send them a chat and say, oh, good morning, sir, I'm interested in your product. I saw your advertisement. Be professional. That's right. You have to set boundaries in your business, right? You need to understand that people that are professional get more business referrals than people that are too lovey-dovey. No, dear, it should be for your family members. Dear and love should be for your friends. Sweetie and honey pie or whatever should be for people you love, people that you know past the business relationship. Now, you have clients that you probably end up becoming close, like really, really close. But sometimes it ruins, you see, respect is reciprocal, and lack of respect eventually brings insult in business. So I've seen cases where people complain to me, oh, Dr. Ish, my client is always rude, my client is always disrespectful. And then when I ask them certain questions and find out, yeah, exactly, princess, we are business partners and not lovers. Let's keep the love somewhere and face the business as it is. So I'll give you an example. I made a mistake 3 weeks ago. So a former supervisor of mine gave me a referral. I leveraged so much on referrals. And she gave me her friend as a referral. Her friend sent me a WhatsApp message. We started talking. We started negotiating. And I billed her, I think, 50,000 naira for the job she wanted me to do, which was way lower than my usual pricing. We're coming to underpricing. That's one of the mistakes I made. But let me share this gist with you. So we became so comfortable with each other. We became chummy, and I broke all my business protocols. Like, I overstepped all the boundaries I put in place for my business. She also overstepped the boundaries. We were calling each other friends. We were calling each other, we're already like best buddies, and we barely knew each other for 2-3 weeks, right? So I've been giving her free consultation. I was setting up her LinkedIn profile. We've gone so far, and few days ago, she comes into my DM 9:30 p.m. in the night. She's not my friend. She's a business. She's a client, right? Now, remember one of my classes, I said a client is somebody who has paid for your services, right? And anyone who has not paid for your services is a lead or a prospect. Guess what? I've been giving her free consultation for 3 weeks, and she had not paid me. So I sent a reminder message to her. She burst into my DM 10 p.m. 5 days ago, and she says, oh, Dr. Ish, I want to take a look at my profile. I did this, I did that. So what do you think I should do here? So we had a video call, screen shared, and I gave her all the tips. I said, okay, do this like this, do this like that. And I chipped in. I said, babe, mistake again. She was a client. I called her babe. Babe, how are you? And please, is it possible? I mean, we've not sealed this transaction. You've not asked me for my account number. I mean, 50K and all that. And she gave me a very funny response. She said, 50,000? I thought we're still haggling about the price. I was shocked. What? 4 weeks for us to haggle on the price? In my mind, we had concluded on the price. In her mind, we had not concluded. I didn't even send her a contract letter, discussing, stating the agreement and terms of agreement and all that. I was like, oh my God, I messed up. So I let it slide. I felt like my discussion with her would have put her on edge and gotten her to do the right thing. No, she didn't do the right thing. So 2 days ago, she comes into my DM again, 9:30. Guys, remember I told you, always have a closing time, right? You don't need to respond to everyone at that time. If you respond once, you will continue responding. So you need to have business principles. Let them know. Don't be scared as long as you're sure of your value. So she comes into my DM 9:30 p.m. and says, okay, she sends me some screenshots. I did this on my profile. Take a look. And I went ballistic. I went rabid. I was like, no. Exactly, Modupe. Exactly. Imagine her telling me we are still dragging price for the past 3 weeks. And in my mind, we had concluded. And I was already giving free value. I was already calling her babe. I was already calling her sweetie. I was already calling her love. Oh my God, she was enjoying the vibe and the fact that she didn't have to pay for all the services rendered. So yes, she was manipulating me, and that was one of the things I suffered in my business. I lost. So see, guys, if you are always not having boundaries in your business, as they would say, you are leaving money on the table, you are losing money. Please set boundaries. Opening time, closing time. Yes, freebies. You need to be able to draw the line and know which services. You're welcome, Donna. You need to be able to set boundaries and lines and ask yourself, itemize your services. Which ones can be free? Which one must be paid for? If you don't do that, your clients are going to take advantage of you and you will lose money. And trust me, if your value is right, they will pay for it. If your value is right, I say again, they will pay for it. And anything they get from you free, they will go somewhere else and pay for it. Okay? So moving on. So I called her out and I said, no, we can't do this. She says, oh, your vibe is negative. Your vibe is so bad. Is this how you talk to your clients? I felt so horrible because I knew I had messed up from the beginning. I knew I had gotten carried away with the fact that she was a very big lady in the corporate world. She was trying to even emotionally blackmail me and tell me, oh, and I was already telling my sister-in-law about you. Really? Anyways, so I had to go back to the person that introduced her to me and report her and tell her, this is what I'm going through with the client referred to me. But you know what? I didn't set my boundaries. I was at fault. Exactly. I didn't set my boundaries. And the lady was asking me to apologize that I was disrespectful to her. I said, disrespectful to you for my own business? Yes, it's always the big people. Yes, it is always the big people. Young creators have never treated me that way. She started telling me, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I was like, wow. Dr. Ish, you really messed up big time. She started telling me, do you know who I am? And I'm like, see, guys, please, like I said, set boundaries. There are so many things to setting boundaries, but I'm not going to dwell too much on that. I just said, let me give you 2 examples on the kind of boundaries you need to set. Your negotiation boundary must be in place. Your opening and closing boundary must be in place. Your communication boundary must be in place. Remember, the first one I said was asking for help, and the second one I said is setting boundaries. And I've given you 3 examples. I've given you 3 examples of boundaries you must set. First boundary is your opening and closing time boundary, your business hours, your work hours. Second boundary is your communication boundary. No dear, no darling, no honey, no sweetie. There, it must be sales and mass, right? Then the third boundary is your contracts. Ensure you have sorted out everything in your contract nice and tidy and get your monies paid to you before you start transacting. Don't start the business when you have not gotten paid. It's fancy from far. Trust me. She starts telling me, do you know who I am? And I'm like, girl, I know you are living on credit. I know you are living on borrowed loans. I also worked in a bank for 19 years. I know you are living on credit. The car you are driving is on a loan. The house you're on is rented. Trust me, a lot of them are just living fake lives. But you know, I mean, that's not really the focus, but just to let you know that don't be contract. Yes, don't see, guys, as a business person, don't be deceived by the hype. Don't be deceived by their dressing, their packaging. If you're a business person and you are charging people, you are billing people based on how they package, you will lose money. Have standards in your pricing. Poor, rich, whoever, just make sure you have standard pricing. If they see the value in your product or service, they will pay. And if they don't have the value, if they don't see the value, or they don't want to pay for the value, please let them walk on by. You will only tarnish your image, tarnish your brand, tarnish your business, and lose money if you keep compromising your standards. Right? Okay, John says I still have an unpaid project that I had built completely, made adjustments, and they have not paid me till the... Yeah, I have experienced that too. Exactly. Fake life, quite a number of them. So please, one thing you should do, let your contracts be in order. Never you start a business or a job for anybody without getting paid first. I remember one of my mentees sent me, you waste your time. Exactly, Marilyn, you waste your time. I remember a mentee sent me a message in my LinkedIn DM. So she's a writer, a ghost writer. So she says one random lady sent her a message in the DM and says, oh, could you, I don't know if she's on this live session, but let me share the story. She says, oh, could you write me, oh my God, could you write me 10,000 words? She gave her the whole format, everything. And my baby girl goes ahead to write the 10,000 words, right? And in fact, it's 2 stories, and gives the lady the 10,000 words because the agreement is that we are supposed to test run your skills. Whoa! Guess what happened? She found out later that the lady that asked for the 10,000 words, actually, it is a contract for another job, right? So she ended up doing the job for someone else and didn't get paid. Just random person on LinkedIn, unverified account on LinkedIn. She lost money. She lost over $1,000. She would have gotten paid. No contract, nothing. I mean, someone randomly tells you, write me 10,000 words. I want to see if you know how to write. She wrote the 10,000 words, sent it to the lady, and that lady got paid for the job. She didn't get a dime. Then I have someone else who almost fell into, I mean, I think it's a scam method, but hey, that's what it is. And I think ghostwriters suffer this a lot. I have another lady who got into the same thing. I think hers was 5,000 words. And when she started asking for some information, that was when, you know, she ran into my DM and said, Mama, this is going on, and all that. And oh yes, exactly, that is the word, outsourcing with evil intentions. It was crazy. It was crazy. The lady was just shedding tears. She lost $1,000. She lost over $1,000 for that business deal. So you need to really be careful. And then one of the mistakes I also made was underpricing my value. You see, the problem with underpricing your value is when you lack confidence in your capacity, when you lack confidence in your ability to deliver, when you lack confidence in your experience or your expertise. Never you as a businessman or woman underprice or overprice. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a graphic designer. You know the extent of your capacity. You know the extent of your, oh wow, this is hot. You know the extent of your capacity. You know the extent of your experience. Now you are seeing people that already have big profiles, right? And their bills are maybe to make a flyer is say 50,000 naira or or $2,000. And this person has been doing the graphic designing business for 15 years, 12 years, and you just started like 6 months ago or 7 months ago, and you want to bill the same $1,000 or $2,000. Like, why would you do that? You're only going to end up destroying your brand. You must, as a business person, understand what is the level of my capacity, what is the level of my expertise, what is the level of my experience. And then what do people in the same field or industry I'm talking about your competitors, what are they pricing in this same area? Then you find a base. You must see 2 things you should run away from as a business person: underpricing and overpricing. All right, get me again. Underpricing and overpricing. They are 2 things that can also kill your business. I was fond of underpricing myself because I wasn't very confident as to my capacity. And there were so many reasons why. One, like I said earlier, I was doing too many things, so I wasn't even really sure. Wasn't sure if I could deliver. And largely because of imposter syndrome. I mean, guys, please tell me in the comment section if you've ever experienced imposter syndrome, where you feel you're not good enough. If for any reason you feel you're not good enough, what I did was to make sure I kept upskilling and upskilling. For every time I was hit by imposter syndrome, for every time I was underpricing myself, I made sure I went back to the drawing board to re-strategize. And re-strategizing, one of the easiest ways to ensure that your value is always top notch, is to upskill. It's not easy. It's not easy, Marilyn. It's not easy. It's not easy. Deborah, yes, exactly. It's not easy. Imposter syndrome, even myself, I experience it. It's, yes, BEG. With pricing, a lot of us are still fighting it because, one, you're going to come across clients that will tell you, it's too expensive. And do you know that there are also clients that if your pricing is too cheap, they'll say no. There's something funny about, if it's this cheap, then you're not good enough. So what I need you to do is, yes, with better responses from clients, it gets better. So consistently ensure you upskill in your skill. Let me explain. You're a voiceover artist, right? Make sure you still go for courses. You can't be 100%. You may be good, but you can also get better. You're a graphic designer, you may be good, but you can get better. You're a virtual artist, you may be good, you can get better. You're a ghostwriter, you may be good, and you can get better. Always find other people in the industry doing better than you. Free courses, Allison.com, free courses, Coursera, Udemy. Find courses that can help you to upskill in your trade, in your business, in your line of experience and expertise, so that you can combat the imposter syndrome. It's not about motivational speaking, and say, I can do it. If Dr. Ish can, I can. Do you have the experience Dr. Ish has? Do you have the knowledge Dr. Ish has? Right? So we can, in business, motivational speaking doesn't really work 100%. It's good to have a positive mindset, but you need to ask yourself some critical questions. Do I really have the skill I say I have? Do I really have the value I say I have? These are the things that will answer you to know if you are underpricing or overpricing. Always find out what your competitors see. Key things: upskill and find out what your competitors are pricing. Evaluate their work. If you say you're a graphic designer and your graphic design is worth $200, okay, good. Find other graphic designers that give that same pricing and check their skill out. Are they better than you? You need to be honest with yourself. Are they better than you? Are they worse than you? Right? And those are the things you need to look at. So we've spoken about basically the topic of today was mistakes made in business and how you can also avoid them, because these may be just the little minute things that are stopping you from getting to the next level and achieving maximum productivity in your business and making sales. And you know me, you know Dr. Ish, I'm all about business strategy, and that's part of what I do even as an executive coach. I'm all about businesses thriving. I'm all about businesses scaling up. I'm all about businesses making money. There is no point having a skill that you cannot monetize. Any skill you cannot monetize is called is a hobby. Any passion, any strength that you cannot monetize is called it's just a hobby. So if monkey business is banana selling, that's funny. Kala 69. Orangutan, really? Is that a business? Is that the business you're into? Banana selling? Is that what you sell? This is funny. Okay, guys, yeah, so we're talking about scaling your businesses, making money, and avoiding mistakes that that don't help you to make money. And for those of you that missed it earlier, and guys, no, it's your business monkey. Oh well, so I'm sorry, I don't understand what that means. But anyway, if you're just joining us on this live session, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and of course drop a comment, just like Kasala 69 or Kala 69 is dropping. Monkey business, money business. I mean, money is money, right? So I was talking about the 5 hard lessons that I learned in business that made me lose money and made my businesses to collapse and made my business not to scale up. So Pegar, oh well, all right. It's really funny, right? Yes. So I was talking about setting boundaries on your business, having a business opening time and closing time. That's for those that didn't come on time. I was talking about effective communication. Don't use endearments, dear, lovely, sweetie, honey, when you're talking to your clients. Always keep it professional. I also spoke about ensuring that your contracts are packaged nicely, your pricing done. Make sure you don't start a job that you haven't been paid for, or at least receive a certain percentage of your monies. I also spoke about one of the mistakes I spoke about was not recruiting, hiring extra hands to help me on time. I was always fond of having to do everything on my own. So please, if you're in business, and even if you're a corporate worker, learn how to delegate tasks. Don't multitask too much, because at the end of the day, it leads to burnout. And if you burn out as an entrepreneur, as a founder, you will be unable to effectively manage yourself. And then another mistake I spoke about was underpricing. And I said, if you're suffering from imposter syndrome, you're not sure of how to handle your pricing, one of the key things, or 2 of the key things you need to do to be sure you're not underpricing and overpricing in your business for your products and services, is to ensure you upskill consistently. No matter the trade you are into, make sure you find out people in the industry doing what you are doing and learn how to do it just as they are doing, even better if it's possible, and get the pricing of your competitors so that you are sure that you are at a base. Find a balance, right? As a business owner, as a founder, you also have to do your best to avoid burnout, which is why I said have your own me time. I didn't have a mean time. I was just work. 5 a.m. in the morning, I'm already working till 11 p.m. and it affected my health so much. And I'm sure you guys will understand what I do. And in fact, I think a lot of remote workers, a lot of YouTube influencers, a lot of TikTok influencers, Instagram influencers, VAs, graphic designers, website designers, cyber people, people that work from home, a lot of them are experiencing burnout. Guys, burnout is real. You must have mean time. Go for a walk, drink a lot of water, eat breakfast like a king. How's the saying again? Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper or like a beggar. So those are one of the key ways to make sure you stay alive. Now, moving to another, you need to know how to rest. Please, there is no reward for the most hardworking business owner, because if you die, that's the end of it. Yes, always wanted to create content. Exactly. I was also guilty of that. I would wake up 4 a.m. and creating content. There are so many easier ways. There's so many tools now that even that business people and corporate people can use to make life easier for themselves. I mean, AI has made life easy. So any content you want to create, you can get AI to sort that out for you and just add your own voice and your own vibe to it, just to make life easier. So another mistake I made was I didn't leverage on using a personal brand. So when I started all my businesses, quite about 80% of them were physical businesses. What I mean physical, I mean they had offices, but they didn't have presence online. I felt like, what was the need? Why do I need to have a personal brand? Like, everybody knows I'm good at what I do. Everybody knows that I'm fantastic at what I do. Wrong. Not everybody knows. And trust me, when you have physical businesses, it's only a very small percentage of people that will get to know you. Because for any business to survive, for any business to be sustainable, for any business to live long, you need a steady flow of clients. You need a steady flow of leads. You need a steady flow of referrals. However, you can't keep relying on family, friends, and people living on your street, or people living in your church, or friends from your school, or friends from your childhood. And we all know, most of us know, that our businesses did not even start getting sales from our so-called friends and family. It's actually strangers that even believe in your products and services even more than the so-called close people to you. I don't know about your experience, but my experience, majority of my clients were people that were not even related to me at all. They didn't even know me from anywhere. And the minute I positioned my brand online and became very intentional and strategic about it, my client base tripled. And when it tripled, I didn't even need to beg family and friends to buy into my products or everything I was doing anymore, right? I didn't need to. So as a business person, and even if you're in a 9-to-5, please do not neglect your personal brand. It is so critical, so important. If your business is not, find a platform. YouTube is an excellent place to position your business. All you need to do is to start small. Like I said, perfectionism is a disease. Perfectionism doesn't exist. All you need to do is to aim to be better, 1% better than you were yesterday, because the competition is not against you and the world or against you and your competitors. The competition is against you and you. So you need to be very focused in ensuring your personal brand is well represented on at least one platform. I started my personal branding on LinkedIn, but years ago, 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years ago, I didn't see the need to have a personal brand online. And guess what? People doing the same exact business that I was doing 10 years ago, that even bothered to position themselves online, at the same time I started my business, have gone so far. They are big brands now, well-known brands. But guess what? When I'm having discussions with people and I'm saying, oh, I know her, I know him, we started our business at the same time, and they look at me like this, like, what? What's she saying? Because obviously, looking at it from the personal brand point of view online, I'm not as big as they are. No matter how accomplished you are, if you're not intentional about your personal brand, you are leaving money on the table. You're not helping your business to grow. One of the quickest ways to grow your brand, to grow your business, position yourself on YouTube, position yourself on LinkedIn, find a platform that you can leverage on and start speaking to it. If you're on Instagram, start going live. If you're on TikTok, start going live. If you're on LinkedIn, go live. If you're on YouTube, like I'm doing now, that I've decided to commit 30 days going live, go live. It's for your own good. And trust me, you are going to have a consistent flow of clients. When I hear people say, oh, Dr. Ish, I don't have clients, I'm not making money. No, you're doing it the wrong way. You're not applying strategy. Who knows you? Where are you showing up? You need to show up for yourself. You don't need to show up for Dr. Ish. Show up for you. Show up for yourself. Whatever talent it is you have, whatever trade it is you know you are good at, leverage on these platforms. For instance, YouTube is not going to ask you for money to go live. So why can't you go live? Instagram is not going to ask you for money to go live. These are free ways to advertise your business. If you have a problem speaking in public, go get a public speaking teacher. Anyway, I train people on how to speak in public. Go get a public speaking teacher, learn how to speak in public, and start going live. If you can't go live, then first of all, start recording yourself on video. Send it to family and friends and let them analyze your work and see how good you are, if you speak well, if you need to address your diction. There is nothing that before I started going live, I said, no, I want my hair to be well done. I want my nails to be well done. I want the light to be so bright. I need to make my own studio. And when I did a calculation of what it would cost me for the kind of studio I wanted, I was like, oh my God, when am I going to have that kind of money? Because I like doing things big style. And there was a friend of mine that said, Dr. Ish, if you keep waiting for a perfect time, you will never get this thing done. And then I started looking at other YouTube channels, other people going live, and other people. You can imagine the settings. Some were not even in very good background. And I said, and these people have so many subscribers. So what is holding me back? Perfectionism. You don't need a perfect time. You don't need a perfect day. Start as you are, and as you are doing it, you are getting better. You are leaving money on the table. You are losing clients. And that's one of the reasons why I came to YouTube, because it has a larger audience. More people for me to meet. More leads for me to get. More money to make. So what is stopping you then? Really, you have to ask yourself that. I'm so sorry, I'm practically sweating. So I just have to make sure that I'm closer to the window. But I mean, guys, please give me feedback. Let me know if you're still with me. Yeah, I mean, yes, being shy is actually a problem many people have with public speaking. Yes, and you're valid. It's valid. It's very okay to be shy. But I'm telling you that even introverts, even people that are shy, still can end up being good public speakers. All you need to do is to start one day. Okay, princess, good to see you. All you need to do is to make one attempt. Okay, John, good. All you need to do is to make an attempt to start. See, let me explain something to you guys. Just the same way AI has come to stay, video has come to stay. You can't run from it anymore. Remember, LinkedIn initially was just all about writing. Guess what? Now people are doing video content. Instagram video, TikTok video, Facebook video, YouTube video. You can't keep running from it. It's something that is inevitable. You need to go out there. You can start by having 2 minutes. Talk for 2 minutes till you, maybe all your videos are just 2 minutes till you get used to it. Keep recording. Practice makes better. Right? So another problem that I had was I didn't pay attention to my mental health. I'm telling you something, ladies and gentlemen. Your mental health is key. I'm sure some of you are going through depression. Some of you are going through PTSD, some post-trauma stress or disorder. I mean, some of you may not know. I have ADHD. For those of you that don't know, I have ADHD. And guess what? I discovered I had ADHD when I clocked 41. Yes, 30 seconds video. Yes. I found out I had ADHD when I clocked 41 years old. So imagine living with ADHD for all these years. Because there were just some things about me I couldn't understand. Why was I experiencing? Why do I act this way? Till I found out. So guys, you need to check your mental health. Some of you're not in a good place. You're not happy. Maybe you're in a wrong environment, or you have wrong friends surrounding you, or you're not happy with your family. You can only thrive when you are in a healthy state of mind. You can only thrive when you are in a good space. So you need to find a way to put yourself in a happy place. So ensuring you guard your mental space is important. If you have friends that always trigger you negatively all the time, cut them off. Make sure you are surrounded by, figure out people that are a good support system and positive system for you. People that always encourage you, people that anytime you have discussions with them, you're always happy, you're always uplifted, you're not sad, right? So it's so important, guys. Your mental health is is extremely important, right? So I don't want to bore you guys so much. I think we've had an amazing time. Please, if you've had an amazing time, drop something for me in the comment section. Let me just know. Drop something in the comments. Let me know that you really, yes, friends, Modupe, friends can actually kill you. Friends can destroy your career. You need to thank you, Joan. You need to understand the importance of what you are doing. Thank you so much. In all the mistakes I shared, which one resonates with you the most? I'd love to see your comments. All the mistakes I shared, which one resonated with you the most? Which one do you feel is something you've also experienced in your, maybe your career journey or your business journey? All the mistakes I made, I'd like to hear from you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you're just meeting me for the first time, in case this is your first time to my live session, my name is Dr. Ish. I'm an executive coach and a business strategist. Underpricing. Nice. And I'm sure you learned something from what I shared. Yes, so YouTube PTD today. Oh, most people say you're very formal. Well, that's not such a bad thing. I think I've also had that kind of feedback before. But and I think being formal is the safest, really, for a business person, because people tend to cross boundaries a lot. So it's very being formal is a good thing, really. It's a different thing if they say, wow, what's all this noise? It's a different thing if they say you are rude. But being formal, I don't see it as a bad thing. But maybe you can try to loosen up a bit once in a while. But just be careful about it and ensure that your boundaries are not crossed. That's just it. Okay, Rosie says sometimes you're scared to overprice because you feel the clients run away. Oh, absolutely. I still experience that too. I'm usually scared. In fact, sometimes it takes me a lot of time to determine prices. But here's the thing. Always have a standard pricing for all your products and services. Always have a standard pricing for all your products and services, so that even if you have peculiar requests, you will not need to go too high or too low. Have a standard. Whatever product you're selling, whatever service you're selling, have a standard price. Yes, Modupe, pricing, underpricing and overpricing, I think it's a regular problem for many business people, especially when you are just starting out. But after a while, you will get a hang of it. And like I said, always find out what your competitors are doing in terms of pricing, so that you can find a balance. Everything is about balance. Marilyn, boundary setting. Absolutely. Boundary setting was a very major challenge for me as well. I'm so friendly and I can easily forget myself, and I lost a lot of money for that. So many people ran away with my monies after doing the job for them. So I think with a few points that I shared, especially the opening time, closing time, endearments, and setting the contracts, ensure the contracts, please always get a formal agreement, Marilyn, between you and your clients. Always have something in writing. I think AI can write up a contract for you, or if you have a lawyer friend, they can write up. Always have something formal in writing that your clients can sign to, just to save you some explanations in the future. Have something in writing. Have an agreement. Let them read the agreement and agree to it. Yes, ADHD. It has to do it. So that I don't digress too much and confuse people. It has to do with attention. It causes an attention deficit. But funny enough, I used it to. I'm on my second PhD. I have 3 doctorates, but one of them is honorary. So, and I have 4 masters. So it actually. So this is the thing with ADHD. It makes you obsessively focused. So, for instance, let's say you give me a task. I can ignore every other thing and focus on only that task in an obsessed manner. So people with ADHD are usually very obsessive. We can focus on one thing and abandon every other thing. So I had to learn how to, and I think my own focus was more centered around my job and academics. But was later I found out that also this is the reason why, in Nigeria we really don't believe in those kind of things. But I found out later, and I've been actively, strategically, and intentionally finding ways of managing it as much as possible. I don't think it's curable, but it is manageable. Yes, boundary setting. So for a naturally friendly person, it's easy to shift from being formal. Exactly. I'm also guilty of that. I so easily shift from being formal, and it has put me into trouble a lot. So you must have standards. Create an SOP, a standard procedure of greeting your clients, asking for follow-up. AI can help you do that. Tell it to create a standard operating procedure for you on salutation of your clients, your follow-up. It will craft the words for you, so you don't really need to think too much or stress too much. And I just want to ask, I just want to chip in, like, if this helped you, don't forget to hit the like button. It's very, very important here that the likes come in, because it also encourages me to let me know that you guys also resonate with what I'll be saying. And of course, remember that we are on a 30-day journey. So I want to please remind you that tomorrow, same time, we are also going to be live. And this time around, I'm going to be sharing with you on how to so how do I put it now? How to build your brand even if you have 0 followers. Because I hear people say, oh, Dr. Ish, you have over 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. You're already popular and all that. And I'm like, you don't need to have thousands of followers to build a brand. You don't need to wait. And that's where perfectionism comes in, and it's killing so many. It's killing so many brands. It's destroying so many brands. It's slowing people down. Ladies and gentlemen, you can build a profitable and wonderful brand even if you don't have 1,000 followers, 50 followers, and that's what I'm going to share with you tomorrow. I'm going to share with you strategies I have used to build my brand, strategies you can use to become formidable in your own brand even if you have 0 followers. And I'm not saying 0, I mean like 10 followers, 20 followers. Don't feel like, oh, everybody you see with 20,000 followers, 10,000 followers started with 0 followers. There is nobody that came on any platform, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, that started with 1,000 followers. It's not possible. They started with 0 too. They started from somewhere, right? So please, yes, Deborah, set your alarm. Set your alarm. Click the notification button. Just remember, tomorrow is going to be another very hot, all right? Because I understand that many people will be going to church, and all that. And it's a Sunday, many people need to rest. So I'm just going to be breaking down how you will build your brand online even with 0 followers. It's so critical. So many people feel what's the word now, intimidated online, because they feel, I have only 50 followers, I have only 20 followers, I have only 10 followers on YouTube, I have only 5 followers on LinkedIn, I have only 3 followers on Instagram, on TikTok I have only 25 followers. How do I build a profitable brand? How do I build a brand that people respect? How do I position myself as an authority and a thought leader in my field? All this we're going to share tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. live. I'm going to share this for you within 45 to 1 hour, depending on how I explain and of course with feedback I get, the questions I get. 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, we are going live, same time, by the grace of God, and I'm going to share with you how to build your brand. Guys, don't miss this, please. It's very important. There are some nuggets you're going to get here that sometimes when we write, even as writers, it's not everything we can write, but it's easier for me to explain deep, like really go deep and explain to you. So it's easier also for you to converse with me physically, online. Ask your questions. It's not so easy when you are writing. There's some things that you may miss out, but if you come live, you're going to just prepare your questions for me tomorrow on this topic, and I will definitely respond to you. Any challenges you're having with growing your brand online or growing your followers online, prepare your questions for me tomorrow. I'm going to be here live to attend to your questions. And like I said, these 30 days, I had so much planned on other things I wanted to teach on YouTube, but I decided to change my strategy, and I said, you know what, I want to go deep, I want to go authentic, I want to help my community grow. It's not like I don't like money, but I said, you know what, I want to be associated with the growth of people's brand. I want to be able to say I have 5 people, 10 people, 20 people that their brands are doing so much better, their businesses are doing so much better based on my failures, my experiences, my successes that they are learning from. And I'm trusting that I'm going to meet you guys tomorrow. Please invite your friends. I mean, it's a Sunday. Invite your friends, share the link with them. You know, even if they're not in our class, share the link with them. YouTube allows people to join, right? So please invite your friends tomorrow, send them messages this evening, tell them that Dr. Ish is going to share powerful nuggets, powerful tips, powerful. See, these things I'm going to share with you, many creators will get you to pay for this knowledge. Many creators, thank you, Debbie. These things I'm sharing with you, they are worth $300, $1,000, $5,000 of knowledge. I paid a lot of money to learn some of these things. But these strategies for the next 30 days, I want to grow this community. Please don't gatekeep. Don't keep this knowledge to yourself. We're a community, and our job and responsibility is to help each other grow. So please, even if they are not in the WhatsApp community, they can join us live. Please share this information with your friends. Share my YouTube link with them. Let them watch any of the videos, subscribe, click the notification button so that they can get notified. And if they can't do that, once we go live, share the link with them. You are allowed to share the link with them and let them join us live tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. to learn how to grow their brand, grow their personal brand, grow their followership, become authorities in their field, become thought leaders in their field, even if they have 0 followers. So thank you so much once again. And if you don't know me, if you've never met me before, you've never heard me speak before, my name is Dr. Ish. I'm an executive coach and a business strategist. I help people build their businesses. I help people learn how to position their personal brand. I help people to excel also in their career and personal development. I'll see you tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like, drop me a lovely comment to encourage me, and I'll see you in class tomorrow. Good night, guys. Take care, sleep well, stay strong, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.